Yo, what up? It's Aaron Moses, gang. In this video, I'm gonna be speaking about a post that I saw on Facebook. Now, pretty much this dude was saying that a lot of women are broke-minded women because they want a man to pay for everything now. I don't really have a problem with that dynamic, but what I do have a problem with is a woman that's not prepared for a man to not always be there when it comes to taking everything into account financially. Now, we have a lot of people every day who their parent, the main provider, which is usually the man, passes away or they get injured and things like that, and they're not financially or mentally prepared for those cloudy days, which is not cool. Now, at the end of the day, I believe it was Grant Cardone or it might have been Mark Cuban who said what up, man? Who said that his father was, a multimillionaire, and when his dad died, his mom had to sell all his businesses and max out, and they had to return to a state of poverty. And that was really heartbreaking for me to hear because had his mom took initiative during his dad's height of his success, she would have knew how to naturally respond to these situations. Now, personally, let's say I had a wife and some children, and I was in my bag. I was a millionaire. I was up a couple M's. I would not expect my woman to do everything that I did, but to at least be able to maintain the success that I left. So ideally, me building my life, I told my woman, look, I'm about to be rich in like less than 10 years. So what I learned, I'm gonna need you to learn. I'm gonna need you to either be able to preside over this money the same way that I would do it if I was still alive, or if I get injured, or when I get this bread, we could start you your own business that if something bad were to happen to me, all you have to do is just turn your hustle up all the way up, quadruple your production. So let's say let's say if I was in school right now for real estate, right, and I have all these houses, I don't necessarily, if real estate is not something that you're interested in learning, if that's not something that's gonna make you happy, you're gonna fuck it up at the end of the day, right? Hopefully not, but that's a large possibility. So let me take some of these houses. I'm gonna put a house in your name. I'm gonna sell a house, and with that money, I will open you up a business. Do you want a nail salon? Do you want a hair salon? Do you want a car wash? Whatever you want, whatever you feel like you want to preside over, if something happens to me, all you have to do is quadruple your production. You might have to put the kids in daycare or get one of your cousins to watch them here and there for a certain amount of time to quadruple your production, so it is as if nothing has ever happened to me and your financial state won't change. It's not fair to the children if something happens to their dad and now they gotta go to the projects or some shit, or they gotta move to a dangerous neighborhood because you simply were just reaping off the benefits of me being a successful person, and you just thought I was God. You just thought I was gonna live forever and I was gonna. No, you have to set yourself up to win. Now, as far as maintaining the household, let's say if I was a lawyer and my girl was a nurse, right? If if it's not really gonna phase me to pay all the bills, let me pay all the bills. You take the money, and all the money that you make, get your nails done, get your hair done, buy stocks for the children. Put money aside for the children, because at this point, you being a nurse doesn't really benefit me. At this point, as a lawyer, I'm getting paid two, three, 400, $500 an hour, and I'm working 6, 7 days a week. A lot of people don't know lawyers make the bag. Let's even take it to let's say if I was a hand surgeon and I had my own firm, because I've actually met hand surgeons. This man was making like $13,000 a week. He was charging 500. Well, I don't even want to go there. He was charging 5 bands for one hand surgery, and he was doing 2 hand surgeries a day, 4 or 5 days a week. So that might be. Did I say 500? I meant 5,000. So if this dude is making, let's just even say he was making a lot of money, right? 5,000 dollars surgeries, $10,000 a day. He still had to pay his staff, pay taxes. So he still was making at least, let's say after taxes and after handling all his business and bills and things like that, he was still making $3,000 a day, $7,000 a week, times four, almost $30,000 a month. What the fuck is he gonna benefit from being with a nurse that's only making $5,000 a month? What you make in a month, I'm making in a week. I don't really need you, but for you to stay home and watch the babies. So if you still want to do the little nursing thing, that's cool. But at least invest it in the kids. At least invest it in the kids. And if I want to divorce you or you fuck up, you don't need me at this point because you have your own career and the children don't need me. And if something happens, understanding of a lot of how things work. And especially that dynamic, you do understand a lot of things. So I think that would be the man takes care of everything and the woman takes care of the children. And if you don't know anything, like I said, if you have nothing, if you have no qualifications, then I could give you those qualifications. I could help you. I could invest in you starting your own business, invest in your education, or at least buy you a business. And while the kids are asleep, when you have a little time, when you got a hour, 2 hours a day to yourself, you go to those books and you try to understand how to make those businesses work. You feel me? So, I mean, like I said, a broke-minded woman is somebody who doesn't actually want to do anything and they rely on that man being alive for forever. Now, of course, I don't want to shit on Grant Cardone's mom or whoever it is, mom that was in that situation, but that just wasn't their mentality. They may have been young. They may have been in a situation where they didn't have time, or it could have been right after, bro got established and he got his first M and they weren't in a position and then had, like I said, didn't have that a lot of time to learn, what they needed to learn to make that situation greater just in case something happened to him. You know what I mean? So I do want people to be encouraged to educate themselves. I do want the men out there to educate their women and understand that life happens. I need you to have some kind of security blanket that is resting inside yourself. No, I don't want you to be my business partner. No, you don't need to be generating as much money as me at the end of the day. But anything could happen. So if I'm getting these M's, I don't want it to be said that my mom or my wife or whatever the situation, they weren't prepared for that mentally. They weren't prepared for that financially. Even if the kids have to struggle at a certain amount of time, at least by the time they hit 18, we have trust, we have stocks, we have things that they can take advantage of to make them a greater person on a different day. That's the whole point. And they can return that favor to their mom for putting them in that position to be in possession. You know what I mean? So, yes, you don't want an ignorant, bum ass bitch, because I've been with some stupid ass females, bro, with a plural with that S on it, that were not willing to learn how to read better than they were taught in the third grade, that were accepting that they just had all kind of things going on inside themselves that did not allow them to be a better person, that they didn't care. They just wanted a man to do everything. and they just wanted to rest on their laurels, and they really didn't care about being something different, something better, and being prepared for that storm, for being prepared for that ugly weather. And that is the state of mind of somebody who's broke. You could be rich, you could be the richest person in the world, you could be the richest person in the room, the richest person on the block, and still be the brokest person on the block. That's not impossible. Rejecting knowledge is accepting ignorance, and ignorance is broke. Ignorance is the real poverty. Okay? So don't let that be you. Don't let it be said that you love ignorance more than you love elevation. Especially if you have children. Facts. That's all I gotta say, man, about the situation. That's the ideal situation. I get these M's, educate my woman. I'm not gonna have $10 million. I'm not gonna have $1 million, and my female doesn't know how to run a business. And just in case something happens to me, they don't know how to respond to that situation, and they gotta go back to the trap. What kind of shit is that? Especially if I have a fucking baby with this woman. That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible as hell. You just presided, I just presided over all these monies, all these businesses, all these properties, all these expensive cars and clothes, and now you're on eBay trying to figure it out. No. I want you to be able to lean on your business. Like, hey, we might have to cut back on a couple things because I got to open another business, because I got to hire more people, because I got to take more courses, because I already knew what to do in this situation. I already knew how to respond. Not selling all my clothes, not selling all my houses, not counting up all my pennies, not going into my motherfucking collection of whatever that I'm gonna collect, not selling all my cars. Like, that's unnecessary. With the right education and the right preparation, a lot of things are unnecessary. And that's all I gotta say about that. It's Aaron Moses. I'm the band, you the band, we the band together, man. Life is in the breath. Breathe it in. Peace.